Welcome to this battle report for Bricskskrieg, and this is a report on a Bridgehead scenario. The background was in March 1945, US forces captured an intact bridge across the River Rhine at Remagen. And this scenario looks at a hypothetical situation in which British forces face the same situation. The background here is that the Allies are advancing and the German defenders are keen to stop the advance on the line of the River Rhine. Bridges along this river have been rigged for demolition, but the High Command is keen to delay demolishing the bridges for as long as possible in order to allow as much of a retreating army to cross with its heavy equipment. One such bridge is located in the town of Bremagen. It is some way from the front line and as such is only lightly guarded, and the demolition charges are not fully primed. However, the German intelligence is faulty and a rapidly moving armoured vanguard is approaching the town. This could be the Allies' chance to seize a bridgehead. The vanguard is tasked with seizing the bridge intact and reinforcements are directed to this area. There are several special rules used during this game. Most of these are detailed at the end of the report rather than take up time here. However, rules include the fact that the game will alternate with 4 turns of daylight followed by 3 turns of night, and at night maximum sight distance will be 12 inches and all weapons will suffer a -1 modifier to hit. The bridge is already damaged and will suffer further damage when armoured vehicles cross it or blow up on it and when bombs or artillery fire hit it. The British forces have Royal Engineers equipped with assault boats and Bailey bridging, and artillery may fire smoke shells to create a smoke screen to block enemy sight rather than firing high explosive shells. To win the game will last for up to 3 days or until one side is defeated. British forces will win the game if at the end of the game they have a secure bridgehead on the east bank of the Rhine and an open bridge capable of carrying armoured vehicles across the river. If this is not achieved, the German forces will win. So the forces involved. The bridge at Bremagen is defended by 2 flak towers, each with an 88mm gun, which can also be used in the anti-tank role. Additionally, there is a weak platoon of Command 4 squads and 2 Panzerschreck, and a weak troop of Panzer IVs with only 1 serviceable tank. A further platoon of Command 4 squads and 2 Panzerschrecks and 2 machine guns, along with a section of mortars, is guarding the river bank outside the town. Once the severity of the situation is realised, Higher Command will release additional assets, including mechanised infantry as well as tanks, possibly including Tigers. Timetable for reinforcement is shown here. The British have a vanguard with a troop of Churchills and a platoon of mechanised infantry, and a further troop of Churchills will arrive on turn 3. The main body force has got 3 platoons of infantry, troop of Royal Engineers with a Bailey bridge, a battery of 25-pounder guns, and 2 Hurricane strafing runs on call. The crossing is established. 7 armoured brigade will divert elements to exploit it, starting with a troop of Sherman tanks. Deployment. German troops are positioned in Bremagen, with others on the river bank outside town. They have 88mm guns from the flak towers at Bremagen, with a platoon guarding the bridge. Moves. The British side Alpha Troop and 4 British mechanised platoon enter the town of Bremagen. Only the first 2 tanks can fire and they open up with their machine guns onto the dug-in infantry, killing 1 squad. The 88mm gun crews have their guns pointed at the sky in case of air attack and cannot engage the tanks in this turn. The Panzerschreck with dug-in infantry shoot at the Churchill but miss. Tanks of Alpha Troop then advance onto the bridge while 4 mechanised platoon moves up to the German trenches and debusses ready to assault. Machine gun fire from the carriers is non-effective and the assault goes in. 1 squad is killed from defensive fire before the enemy are overcome and destroyed. The 88mm gun crews, however, become alert to the threat and engage the Churchills, hitting twice, destroying 1, forcing 1 to bail out. The explosion caused by the Churchill brewing up causes further damage on the bridge. Panzer IV misses. The infantry remount their carriers, and the 1 remaining Churchill leads them in a charge across the bridge. In contrast to last turn's shooting, German anti-tank fire is non-effective this turn. British reinforcements with Bravo Troop arrive in Bremerhaven. The active troop from Alpha Troop advances and destroys the Panzer IV. The mechanised platoon assaults a dug-in German platoon, losing a squad to defensive fire but wiping out the enemy. The 2mm guns engage Bravo Troop and destroy one tank, and again damaging the bridge in the ensuing explosion. Night has now fallen. While the enemy is distracted by the attacks on the bridge at Bremerhaven and concerned that the bridge is already heavily damaged, the British decide to use the cover of night to cross the Rhine by small boat under cover of a smokescreen and build a Bailey bridge to enable troops to cross. The main body, with 3 platoons of infantry, a troop of Royal Engineers and a battery of 25-pounders, arrives south of Bremerhaven. In the town itself, Bravo Troop charges across the bridge while the carriers move off the bridge, which takes more damage from the vibrations caused by the tracks. Mechanised platoon assaults one of the flak towers, killing the enemy but losing one squad to defensive fire. Alerted to the danger caused by the bridge potentially falling into British hands, reinforcements, the Panzer IV troop and a mechanised platoon arrive east of Bremerhaven but cannot shoot this turn. However, one Churchill is destroyed by 88mm gunfire, causing yet more damage to the bridge. At the new crossing site, the British artillery lays down a smokescreen across the river while the platoons embark in assault boats for the river crossing. German shooting is severely hampered by the smokescreen, but each British platoon loses a squad, while the Royal Engineers commence construction of the Bailey Bridge. In Bremerhaven, the mechanised platoon assaults the second flak tower and overwhelms the defenders. German reinforcements move forward and kill one infantry squad with machine gun fire. And here's a view of the current situation overall across the whole battlefield at this stage. At the crossing site, the assaulting platoons paddle onwards while the artillery keeps up its smokescreen. German shooting at the assaulting platoon kills a total of 4 squads, but all platoons pass their bravery tests. The second section of Bailey Bridge is completed. In the town, the infantry platoon moves into protection of a flak tower, but the German mechanised platoon debusses and assaults the platoon, destroying it. Day breaks and sees a flight of Hurricanes strafe the German positions in an attempt to reduce the fire on the assault boats being paddled across the river. The Hurricanes take 3 hits from ground fire, but this does not deter them, and they press home their attack, destroying 2 squads of infantry. The artillery continues to fire smoke shells, and the smokescreen remains in place. The assault boats near the shore, their crews trying to crouch as low as possible. Despite this, German fire against the assault boats is more effective, and one platoon is completely wiped out. Royal Engineers build a further section of Bailey and boom it out over the anchored supporting pontoons. In town, the active Churchills rumble forward at battle speed, causing more damage to the bridge with their track vibrations, but fail to hit the enemy tanks. In return, German Panzer IV forces a British tank to bail out. The carriers destroy 2 infantry squads with machine gun fire, and the platoon takes cover in the flak tower. Worried that the bridge may fall intact into British hands, a Stuka attack is called in. The bridge is hit by bombs and further weakened. Outside town, the British assault boats reach shore. The infantry disembark, relieved to finally receive saving throws against German small arms fire, but we still take more casualties. Artillery fires smoke further inland. Another section of Bailey Bridge is completed. In town, all available Churchills fire at the Panzers, destroying one and forcing one to bail out. In return, German fire forces a Churchill crew to bail out. British carriers cause more casualties to the infantry platoon, but lose a carrier in return to Panzer Schreck fire. Outside town, the artillery switch to high explosive fire against the dug-in Germans and destroys 2 squads. British infantry platoons then assault, killing many of the enemy and forcing the remnants to flee. Bailey Bridge is boomed out over the second set of supporting pontoons. Back in town, the Churchills destroy another Panzer IV, and remaining tank is forced to flee. Machine gun fire kills a German squad, and the platoon flees. There's complete chaos at the eastern end of the bridge, with burning vehicles lighting up the night sky, which is frequently punctuated by small explosions as ammunition cooks off. A second Stuka attack is called in, causing further damage to the bridge. Night falls, causing a slowing of frenetic activity of the last 36 hours. British troops consolidate their positions and dig in to await any German counterattack. Bailey Bridge is completed, and the lead elements of 7 Armoured Brigade, a troop of Shermans, arrive and start crossing. With day breaking, the troop of Tiger tanks finally arrives. Its journey to the site has been disrupted by Allied air attacks on the rail network. Recognising that an unsupported attack across open ground in daylight is a very bad idea, however, the Germans realise this is their last opportunity to destroy the crossings. The Tigers advance towards the Bailey site. They take the opportunity to fire at the bailed-out Churchill on the bridge in Bremerhaven. With a lucky hit, the tank is destroyed, the resulting explosion proving to be the final straw for the damaged bridge, which collapses. The British call in their second airstrike, and the Hurricane fire destroys one of the Tigers. The final shots of the battle are fired by Sergeant Mick Deadeye Ronson from his Sherman Firefly. Crossing the Bailey Bridge, he hits a Tiger, causing the crew to bail out. The platoon then fails its bravery test and flees. With no defenders remaining and a crossing in place and open, the British win the day. Hurrah! Conclusion. It's a brilliant game, lots of stuff happening. Some thoughts on the scenario. It might be fun to have an umpire monitor the effect of attacks and damage on the bridge in order to keep the players guessing as to its state. Probably need to spend more time refining the special rules for night fighting, assault boat smoke and bridging. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed that report. Please watch on if you want to see the special rules that we used.